Henrietta Lacks was a woman with cervical cancer, and after she died, her cancer cells, called HeLa cells, were taken into a lab and found to multiply really quickly, which is why they've been used for a lot of studies and medical developments. They're even used a lot today in medicine and modern medicine, which is why for my HeLa project, I wrote a pop-up book called The Medical Developments from HeLa, and it's by Anjali Gupta. Me, yeah. Okay, so 1953, HeLa cells can be utilized to grow multitudes of poliovirus, which can then allow scientists to understand how the virus infects cells and causes the disease. Now we have a vaccine against polio. 1964, HeLa cells were taken into space in capsules, which gave insight on how human cells react to radiation and how space travel may impact astronauts. And so I just have like a rocket for space in the pop-up. The next one is also 1964. When the drug hydroxyurea is applied to cancerous cells, cancer growth slows down. This drug also prevents misshapen red blood cells caused by the mutation that causes sickle cell anemia. And in this pop-up, I have a sickle cell because that's what the drug can prevent. And HeLa cells come into play because they are used to study and experiment treatment with this drug. Next is 1973. HeLa cells were used to find faster and more cost-effective ways for experimentation on how salmonella infects the body. This led to new ways to treat the disease. And that one's just salmonella. Next is 1985. HeLa cells were used to discover how the presence of HPV can lead to cervical cancer and even lead to an anti-cancer vaccine. This one is really important because HPV is what Henrietta Lacks had, so it kind of connects and comes full circle. And we've learned in the book and in research that HPV is a very common STD to have, and especially for women since it can lead to cervical cancer. It's very important that we know this information now because of HeLa, so we can kind of keep an eye out for that. And then my last page just says, "Hooray for HeLa," and it has a pop-up of Henrietta. And it says, "Lastly, HeLa cells led to important general scientific developments. For example, since HeLa cells can travel through the air and contaminate other cultures, new protocol like rubber-lined screw-cap bottles are used in labs. Also, due to a lab mix-up one time, scientists could see chromosomes for the first time clearly in the HeLa cells and found out that there are 23 pairs, which is really important for us to know to figure out how to deal with genetic disorders and just problems with chromosomes in general." And yeah, that is my HeLa project.